Whips or zane, whips or glame, whoops to chain. Goop cloud with nib to flip boop lie. Blunt fulels to fwabies. Whip tainy booblet side. The cloud with knit to flip boop zerza. Glue lips, blies glisside. Whips or zane, whips or glame, whoops to chain. Nib whip, blue lie.
Hello, welcome back to another speed build. I hope you enjoyed that little kind of machinima at the beginning. It's just something I like to do for some builds sometimes. It takes a bit more time, but I feel like it kind of brings the building to life a bit more when you see the Sims in it and interacting rather than just some like screenshots at the end. But yeah, for this we are continuing the building of Starlight Boulevard in Dalsall Valley. So we've already done one build, which was Agency Apartments, which is kind of next to this lot and you can see it in the background, but I'll link that video. But I also thought the downtown area needed a restaurant, so I thought it would be cool to do like a Japanese themed one that also had karaoke rooms. So the idea of this is that Sims can come here to eat, but they can also hire a karaoke room to eat their food and sing some songs. Now the exterior of this build, I was inspired by a picture I just found online, and it had the same kind of just simple shape to it, and you could see through that the first two floors were kind of open up, so that's how I've done it on the second floor. Like I got rid of the whole floor just so it's kind of a larger open area. But for this build I wanted to kind of concentrate more on the interior design of it, so yeah, you don't see too much building of the exterior. I kind of skip over that a bit. So here on the third floor we're just building some of the private karaoke rooms. They are quite just like boxy rooms because that's how it is in Japan. If you go do karaoke, like there'll be a whole floor and maybe like 10 to 20 small rooms of karaoke. So yeah, I just thought it'd be kind of cool to combine the two. So down here on the first floor, this is kind of the main restaurant area. And I wanted to have that kind of open kitchen, how they have in some Japanese restaurants, where you can like sit around the bar and see them prepare the sushi or other food in front of you. Yeah, so we've got kind of the first seating area to the right here, and I imagine this just being the kind of standard seating you could go to. And I put partitions there because in a lot of Japanese like izakaya restaurants, they seem to have that, like there'll be a big room but then they'll have these like small wall partitions just so you have a bit more privacy there. So I thought it'd be cool to integrate that into the design of the downstairs area. And I'm just putting lots of these kind of like little cherry blossom looking trees around. When I play tested it, I believe some of the Sims couldn't get into some of those tables there, so I think I do end up moving them a bit. And I thought it was cool, these pink lights hanging down just to kind of match in with the pops of pink around the place. So I spent some time just like arranging those off camera. And this room here on this side is one of the private rooms your Sim can hire, and this one comes also with like a little Japanese garden, which is kind of neat, and also karaoke is in this room too. Now I know I've mentioned it in my previous videos, but I lived in Japan for about 4 years, so in that time I did a lot of karaoke and I really miss it. Like, it's in New Zealand, but it's just not the same really. Like in Japan you'll just be hanging out with a group of your friends or even some new people, and it was just so common to like decide to go out to karaoke, and everyone was just like so positive and in it together kind of a thing. I can't really explain it, but it's like there was no judgment if you are bad at singing. It's just about having fun. And whereas here in New Zealand, like I've asked some friends to go to karaoke and they're just like way too embarrassed by the idea. Like they feel that if they aren't like the perfect singer that they could absolutely not do it. And I've been a few times with people who like just aren't used to it, I guess, and it is kind of like more awkward if you're not just gonna be like free and just sing and not care. Yeah, it's just a very different kind of a thing between the two countries. Yeah, so I just miss it in Japan, just like going singing. It doesn't matter if you sing badly, it's just like a lot of fun. But yeah, here I was just building the garden for that private room, and a lot of like traditional Japanese gardens tend to have kind of more, I guess, like bushes and plants rather than like heaps of flowers. So I kind of tried to do that here and had like a little pond and of course a cherry blossom tree. So I tried to make use the best I could of what items were in the game. So I think it turned out alright. And I do a lot of the build of like the front garden off camera, so you'll kind of see that in the screenshots and the video at the beginning. But yeah, I also kind of miss some of the like just seeing the nature in Japan, which may be like a strange thing to say, but in different countries it's just like the landscape of nature just looks completely different. Like there are different plants and trees, and everything looks different in different seasons. Like in autumn in Japan they have a word which means to like view the leaves changing colour, which isn't really something we have in English. So like in autumn so much of the landscape changes colour. Like you get all those reds, oranges and yellows coming through in the leaves in the parks and whatnot, whereas in New Zealand like there's just everything kind of stays green, or the trees just lose their leaves. Like you still get some of the changing of the colour, but it's not as intense as what I saw in Japan. So yeah, it was always cool in autumn that like I'd get some friends asking me to go like look at the leaves or look at the trees with them, which sounds weird but it was fun to do. And there were some really beautiful parks that had like all those colours and stuff, which we just don't have in New Zealand. So that's something else I kind of miss. But yeah, we're just heading back upstairs now. So there's just the one private karaoke room on the first floor of this build, and then the third floor has these 3 rooms here. And I kind of just tried to make them different colours and kind of themes, just so they weren't all identical. So this one here on the edge I turned into kind of the party room, so perhaps the Sims in this room, someone's had a birthday party or something like that. Originally I had it on that outdoor area on the second floor, but I thought it would be better just to have like a room for it. I think I end up putting some more of those cherry trees by the karaoke machine, but it meant the Sims couldn't like get to the karaoke, so I ended up removing them in the end. But yeah, I don't think I really use these items enough, like all the balloons and stuff, and it can be cool to have a themed room if they are having a party of some sort. Yeah, and then this room just next to it, I'm using these kind of booth chairs because a lot of karaoke, I was saying it so much I can't say it, but a lot of the karaoke rooms in Japan kind of have those booth chairs in them, so I thought they would work well for this too. And the sign here was just perfect, like kind of showing that these are all the karaoke rooms, and I also put it on like the second floor with the arrow, so you know to head upstairs towards them. Also between the left karaoke room and the middle one, I put a bar there so like the Sims can go get a drink and take it back to their rooms. I also do like a kind of refreshment stand area around there too, so there's like a vending machine where they can get snacks, and I believe a coffee machine, since they always kind of had that at the karaoke places in Japan. Like there'd be one area and you could go there and just get like unlimited drinks throughout however many hours you were doing karaoke, so that was always really neat. And then each karaoke room also had a telephone, so you could just like pick it up and call them to order food. And then also when like it was your last 10 minutes of having the room, usually someone from reception would call the phone and you'd pick it up and they'd be like, you've got 10 minutes left. You'd be like, okay, sweet. And then yeah, so that was always a handy thing to have there. But yeah, also on this floor, I think as you're about to see, I add in just an extra bathroom because I figured like there was only one bathroom right at the bottom, so it would take like a while for them walking from the third floor down to the first. Yeah, I guess the only downside with all this being on the third floor is sometimes the food can take a while to get to your Sims because the waiter has to carry it all the way from the bottom where the kitchen is. Yeah, but have you guys been having an okay time with the restaurants in the game? Like a lot of people say they're pretty glitchy now compared to when they were first released, because I guess when they were first released there were like lots of bug fixes and whatnot because it had just came out, but now like with all the other new expansion packs being added on, like old bugs or new bugs for the packs that have been out a while seem to like crop up, and then they get fixed less often, I feel like. So I don't know, like I found if I travel with my Sims to a restaurant, if they're like a smaller group, they're kind of more likely to get their order or their order on time. Whereas when I play the game with like a larger group that goes to a restaurant, sometimes the interaction seems to cancel out, so I have to like have them choose a table again and go through the process of getting the food from the menu, or it just like the order doesn't seem to come, like they'll be waiting 3 or 4 hours in game and yeah, there's no food. So it's an interesting one. Here I was just making the waiting room at the front. I thought it would be cool to make it kind of a bit more welcoming, I guess. So I put little of those trees that I've been using throughout around and side tables and stuff. So I kind of like the entranceway there, it's nice. But yeah, we're starting to come towards the end of the build. I plan to have this up tomorrow, which is like Sunday morning New Zealand time, because as I said in my last video, I fly out to Melbourne first thing tomorrow morning. So yeah, just trying to get a couple of videos ready, but it's only a short trip. Like I think I come back Friday next week, so it's only like 5 days. But yeah, I still need to do my packing. I checked the temperature and it looks like it's going to be even colder in Melbourne than it is here in Wellington, because like Wellington's always like rainy and known to be windy and cold, and I just imagined Melbourne being like a sunny, warm place always, but I think it is like one of the cities in Australia that does have the cooler temperatures possibly. So yes, I need to pack some warm things. But yeah, thank you for watching this speed build. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you're having a nice weekend as well, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.